Dr. Maya Harrison couldn't shake the feeling that something was wrong with the numbers. The holographic display before her showed another perfectly ordinary report from the Xeraxian Empire's Youth Cultural Exchange Program. But after 3 years of analyzing these documents, she had developed an instinct for patterns. And this pattern felt wrong. Computer, overlay colony population statistics for the past decade, she commanded, her dark eyes reflecting the blue glow of data streams floating in her cramped research station office. The numbers danced, rearranging themselves into new configurations. That's when she saw it. The discrepancy was subtle, so subtle that it had evaded detection for years. Children between the ages of 8 and 12 were disappearing from Earth's outer colonies, but not all at once. 1 or 2 per settlement, spaced months apart, always following a Xeraxian cultural delegation's visit. The official records showed these children enrolled in the Empire's prestigious education programs, but the communication logs told a different story. There were no messages home, no videos, no personal updates, just perfectly formatted progress reports, each following the exact same template. Maya's hands trembled as she accessed the quantum-encrypted channel to Earth Defense Command. This is Research Station Omega. Priority 1 transmission for Admiral Chen. Authorization code, Shadow 7 Delta 9. The response came almost immediately. Dr. Harrison, this is Admiral Chen. What have you found? Sir, I've identified a pattern in the colonial population data. The Xeraxians, they're taking our children. Systematically. But there's more. She transmitted the correlating data streams. The neural scanning records from their medical surveys. They're not looking for cultural compatibility. They're searching for specific brainwave patterns. The silence that followed felt heavier than the void of space outside her station. When Chen spoke again, his voice was steel. How many? At least 3,000 over the past decade. Maybe more. The program dates back to our first contact with them. And you're certain? Maya pulled up another hologram, this one showing brain scan comparisons. The Xeraxian ships that visit our colonies, they're carrying quantum computing cores that shouldn't exist based on their disclosed technology level. But look at these energy signatures. She highlighted a particular pattern. They match perfectly with human neural patterns, specifically children's neural patterns. Chen's curse was barely audible. They're using them as biological processors. Yes, sir. Their entire technological superiority. It's built on enslaved human minds. Children's minds are more adaptable, easier to integrate into their systems. Maya's voice cracked. Admiral, these educational programs, the cultural exchanges, it's all a front. They're farming us. Dr. Harrison, encrypt everything you found and initiate purge protocols for your station. A stealth corvette will arrive within the hour to extract you. Tell no one. Maya began the encryption sequence, but her hands froze over the controls. Sir, my brother's daughter. She was selected for their program 3 months ago. We'll get them back, Doctor. All of them. The Admiral's voice softened slightly. But first, we need to prepare. The Xeraxians believe we're primitive, barely able to grasp interstellar travel. That assumption is about to become their greatest mistake. As Maya prepared for evacuation, alerts began flashing across her screens. The station's long-range sensors had detected a Xeraxian diplomatic vessel approaching. Right on schedule, according to the cultural exchange calendar. But now she knew what they were really hunting for. She initiated the purge sequences with trembling fingers, watching years of research disappear into encoded quantum streams bound for Earth. The children's faces flashed before her eyes, all those bright, promising minds, now trapped in alien machines. The Xeraxians had believed humanity too primitive to detect their scheme, too disorganized to fight back. They were about to learn how wrong they were. Across Earth's colonies, other researchers like Maya were beginning to piece together the same horrifying puzzle. In underground facilities and hidden laboratories, humanity had been preparing for a conflict No one wanted to acknowledge my come. Now that preparation would find its purpose. The Zyraxian ship grew larger in her viewport, its crystalline structure gleaming with artificial beauty. Maya thought of her niece, imagining her scared and alone in one of their processing facilities. The rage she felt was cold, calculating. A scientist's fury. "Computer, begin recording," she commanded. "Project Starchild. Initial findings report. The Zyraxian Empire's technological superiority is based on enslaved human consciousness, specifically targeting children for their neural plasticity. Standard rescue protocols will be insufficient. Recommendation: implementation of the Prometheus Protocol. They thought our children were merely weapons to be used. They never considered that those same minds might become their undoing." The stealth corvette dropped out of quantum space behind her station, running dark and silent. As Maya prepared for extraction, she made one final entry. "The Zyraxians believe they have perfected the art of conquest through deception. But they forgot the most important lesson of human history. Nothing in the universe is more dangerous than a species fighting for its children. May whatever gods they believe in have mercy on them, because humanity will not." The revolution would begin not with a declaration of war, but with a parent's rage and a scientist's determination. The galaxy was about to learn why you should never, ever take a human child. Commander Elena Santos stood in Earth's most secure military facility, 5 kilometers beneath the Pacific Ocean. Around her, the Strategic Response Center hummed with controlled urgency as humanity prepared for what would become known as Operation Starchild. "Show me the Prometheus Protocol," she ordered, and the quantum hologram filled the chamber with a web of interconnected data streams. Dr. Harrison's discovery had catalyzed the largest covert military mobilization in human history. For 3 months, Earth's governments had maintained a perfect facade of diplomatic normalcy, while beneath the surface, everything changed. "Status report," Elena commanded, her scarred hands clasped behind her back. The trauma of losing her sister to the exchange program years ago had driven her to this moment. Colonel Zhang stepped forward, his augmented eyes glowing faintly as he accessed the secure network. "Phase 1 is complete. Our quantum disruption fields have been successfully tested against captured Zyraxian tech. We can sever their connection to the neural networks without harming the children." The hologram shifted, showing hundreds of seemingly ordinary civilian ships scattered across Earth's colonies. Each vessel concealed military-grade weapons and stealth systems developed in secret over the past decade. The Zyraxians had never bothered to look too closely at what they considered primitive human spacecraft. "And the children?" Elena asked, her voice tight with controlled emotion. Dr. Sarah Chen, their lead neurologist, stepped into the light. "We've mapped their integration patterns. The Zyraxians don't just use their brains for processing power. They've networked them together. It's made the children different, enhanced. If we free them, they may have abilities we can't predict." Elena nodded grimly. They thought they were building weapons. Instead, they armed their own victims. She turned to face the assembled command staff. "What's the status of the infiltration teams?" "In position across 17 key facilities," Colonel Zhang reported. "Our deep cover agents have confirmed the locations of at least 2,000 children. The rest..." He hesitated. "The rest are deeper in Zyraxian space. We'll need Phase 2 for them." The hologram changed again, displaying the Zyraxian Empire's supposedly impenetrable defense network. Humanity had spent years allowing them to believe their technology was beyond Earth's comprehension. In reality, every trade delegation, every diplomatic visit, had been an opportunity to study their systems. "Admiral Chen's report?" Elena asked. "The fleet is ready. Every ship we've built in secret, every weapon we've developed while playing the role of grateful students." Zhang smiled grimly. "The Zyraxians think they're coming for another routine inspection tomorrow. They have no idea that their arrival will trigger our response." Elena walked through the hologram, studying the faces of the missing children. Among them was her sister Maria, frozen forever at age 11 in the last image they had of her. Begin final preparations. When they arrive tomorrow, I want every team ready to move the moment we activate the Prometheus protocol. Dr. Chen raised a hand. Commander, there's something else you should know. The neural network. It's not just processing power. The children are conscious in there. They're aware. And based on our analysis of their network traffic, they're waiting for us. The revelation sent a chill through the command center. Elena turned to face her staff, seeing the same cold determination in their eyes that she felt in her heart. Then we don't keep them waiting any longer. Humanity has played the part of the grateful student long enough. Tomorrow, the Zeraxians learn what happens when you mistake patience for weakness. As the command staff dispersed to their stations, Elena remained in the hologram chamber. She reached out to touch the image of her sister's face, her fingers passing through the light. Soon, she whispered. Soon they'll pay for every child they stole, for every family they broke, for every lie they told while pretending to be our friends. Across Earth and its colonies, humanity's hidden strength stirred to life. Orbital defense platforms disguised as communication relays powered up their real weapons. Stealth ships slipped into position around Zeraxian facilities. Special forces teams made final checks of their quantum disruption gear. In labs deep underground, scientists put the finishing touches on technology that would shatter the Zeraxian Empire's neural networks. They had spent years letting the aliens believe Earth was struggling to grasp basic quantum mechanics. Tomorrow, it would show them just how far humanity had really come. Elena opened a secure channel to all command staff. This is Commander Santos. In 12 hours, Operation Starchild begins. Remember your training, remember your purpose, but most importantly, she looked again at the images of the stolen children. Remember why we fight. The Zeraxians thought they could prey on our children because we were new to the stars. Tomorrow, they learn that humanity's greatest strength isn't our technology. It's what we're willing to do to protect our own. The countdown to humanity's revenge continued, each second bringing them closer to the moment when patience would give way to action, and the Zeraxian Empire would learn the true cost of underestimating Earth's love for its children. The Zeraxian diplomatic vessel descended through Earth's atmosphere with its usual grace, crystalline surfaces gleaming in the morning sun. From their perspective, everything appeared normal. Another routine inspection of their primitive human allies. They never saw the quantum pulse coming. Commander Elena Santos's voice cut through every secure channel simultaneously. Operation Starchild is go. All units, execute. Across Earth's solar system, humanity's hidden fleet shed their civilian disguises. Quantum disruption fields activated, severing the Zeraxian ship's connection to their neural network before they could send a warning. The Empire's carefully constructed web of control began to unravel. First wave successful, Colonel Zhang reported from his stealth corvette near Mars. Their flagship is blind, moving to secure the facility on Phobos. Elena watched from the Strategic Response Center as humanity's true face was revealed. Ships that the Zeraxians had dismissed as primitive cargo vessels transformed, revealing weapons developed through years of careful study of alien technology. But it was what happened next that showed the true scope of Earth's preparation. Dr. Chen's voice crackled through the quantum comm. Prometheus protocol activated. Neural network disruption commencing in 3, 2, 1. Across Zeraxian space, their processing centers went dark. Thousands of children, their minds trapped in alien machinery, suddenly found themselves free. But they weren't the helpless victims the Zeraxians had imprisoned. Years of neural integration had changed them. Commander, Dr. Chen's voice was filled with awe. The children, they're taking control of the Zeraxian systems. They understand the technology from the inside. They're turning it against them. Elena allowed herself a grim smile. They thought they were creating perfect processors. Instead, they created perfect hackers. Begin Phase 2. Earth's stealth fleet, led by Colonel Zhang, struck 17 Zeraxian facilities simultaneously. But instead of finding resistance, they found chaos. The freed children, their minds enhanced by years of neural integration, had already seized control of defense systems and life support. "This is Rescue Team Alpha," a voice reported from the Phobos facility. "Children are secure. They're not just free. They're organized. They'd been planning this." Through the facility's cameras, Alina watched as young minds, finally unchained, demonstrated power that the Xeraxians never imagined they might develop. Security systems turned against their masters. Quantum computers, designed to enslave human consciousness, became weapons in the hands of their former prisoners. "Alina." The voice was small, transmitted through the same quantum networks that had once imprisoned it. "Alina, is that really you?" Her heart stopped. "Maria, we knew you'd come. We've been waiting, learning, preparing. The Xeraxians thought they could control us, but they didn't understand. Human minds don't break under pressure. We adapt." Tears streamed down Alina's face as she listened to the sister she'd thought lost forever. Are you all right?" "We're different now," Maria answered. "All of us. They networked us together, thinking it would make us better processors. Instead, it made us stronger. We can see their entire empire, Alina. Every system, every weakness. And we're taking it all apart." Reports flooded in from across Xeraxian space. Their mighty empire, built on stolen minds, was collapsing as those same minds turned against them. Ships fell silent as their quantum cores went dark. Defense systems failed. Communication networks collapsed. "Commander," Colonel Zhang reported, "the Xeraxian High Command is requesting immediate cessation of hostilities. They're surrendering." But Alina's attention was on a different channel, where thousands of young voices, minds linked together by the very technology meant to enslave them, were coordinating the systematic dismantling of an empire that had stolen their childhood. "The children," Dr. Chen whispered. "They're not just fighting back. They're revolutionizing the technology, the neural integration. They're using it in ways the Xeraxians never imagined possible." Through it all, Alina stood in the command center, tears falling freely as she listened to her sister's voice among the chorus of the freed. The Xeraxians had believed they were creating the perfect biological processors. Instead, they had created something unprecedented. A generation of children who understood their technology at the deepest level, who could bend it to their will, and who had every reason to want revenge. "What now?" Colonel Zhang asked as the first wave of rescued children began arriving at Earth's secure facilities. Alina watched through the monitors as her sister, physically still 11 but with eyes that held knowledge no child should have to bear, stepped off a rescue shuttle. "Now," she said, "we help them heal, and we make sure no species ever dares to prey on children again." The war was effectively over before most of humanity even knew it had begun. The Xeraxian Empire, built on stolen minds, fell to those same minds in less than a day. But the real challenge was just beginning, helping thousands of changed children find their place in a universe that would never be the same. The Xeraxian diplomatic vessel descended through Earth's atmosphere with its usual grace, crystalline surfaces gleaming in the morning sun. From their perspective, everything appeared normal. Another routine inspection of their primitive human allies. They never saw the quantum pulse coming. Commander Alina Santos's voice cut through every secure channel simultaneously. "Operation Starchild is go. All units, execute." Across Earth's solar system, humanity's hidden fleet shed their civilian disguises. Quantum disruption fields activated, severing the Xeraxian ship's connection to their neural network before they could send a warning. The Empire's carefully constructed web of control began to unravel. "First wave successful," Colonel Zhang reported from his stealth corvette near Mars. "Their flagship is blind, moving to secure the facility on Phobos." Alina watched from the Strategic Response Center as humanity's true face was revealed. Ships that the Xeraxians had dismissed as primitive cargo vessels transformed, revealing weapons developed through years of careful study of alien technology. But it was what happened next that showed the true scope of Earth's preparation. Dr. Chen's voice crackled through the quantum comm. Prometheus protocol activated. Neural network disruption commencing in 3, 2, 1. Across Iraxian space, their processing centers went dark. Thousands of children, their minds trapped in alien machinery, suddenly found themselves free. But they weren't the helpless victims the Xeraxians had imprisoned. Years of neural integration had changed them. Commander, Dr. Chen's voice was filled with awe. The children, they're taking control of the Xeraxian systems. They understand the technology from the inside. They're turning it against them. Elena allowed herself a grim smile. They thought they were creating perfect process. Through the facility's cameras, Elena watched as young minds, finally unchained, demonstrated power that the Xeraxians never imagined they might develop. Security systems turned against their masters. Quantum computers, designed to enslave human consciousness, became weapons in the hands of their former prisoners. Elena. The voice was small, transmitted through the same quantum networks that had once imprisoned it. Elena, is that really you? Her heart stopped. Maria, we knew you'd come. We've been waiting, learning, preparing. The Xeraxians thought they could control us, but they didn't understand. Human minds don't break under pressure. We adapt. Tears streamed down Elena's face as she listened to the sister she'd thought lost forever. Are you all right? We're different now, Maria answered. All of us. They networked us together, thinking it would make us better processors. Instead, it made us stronger. We can see their entire empire, Elena, every system, every weakness. And we're taking it all apart. Reports flooded in from across Iraxian space. Their mighty empire, built on stolen mines, was collapsing as those same mines turned against them. Ships fell silent as their quantum cores went dark. Defense systems failed. Communication networks collapsed. Commander, Colonel Jung reported, the Xeraxian High Command is requesting immediate cessation of hostilities. They're surrendering. But Elena's attention was on a different channel, where thousands of young voices, minds linked together by the very technology meant to enslave them, were coordinating the systematic dismantling of an empire that had stolen their childhood. The children, Dr. Chen whispered, they're not just fighting back. They're revolutionizing the technology, the neural integration. They're using it in ways the Xeraxians never imagined possible. Through it all, Elena stood in the command center, tears falling freely as she listened to her sister's voice among the chorus of the freed. The Xeraxians had believed they were creating the perfect biological processors. Instead, they had created something unprecedented. A generation of children who understood their technology at the deepest level, who could bend it to their will, and who had every reason to want revenge. What now? Colonel Jung asked as the first wave of rescued children began arriving at Earth's secure facilities. Elena watched through the monitors as her sister, physically still 11, but with eyes that held knowledge no child should have to bear, stepped off a rescue shuttle. Now, she said, we help them heal. And we make sure no species ever dares to prey on children again. The war was effectively over before most of humanity even knew it had begun. The Xeraxian Empire, built on stolen mines, fell to those same mines in less than a day. But the real challenge was just beginning, helping thousands of changed children find their place in a universe that would never be the same. The observation room at Earth's Quantum Integration Center hummed with nervous energy as Dr. Sarah Chen watched the children, if they could still be called that, demonstrate abilities that defied conventional understanding. Through the reinforced glass, Maria Santos floated cross-legged in midair, surrounded by streams of quantum data that she manipulated with mere thoughts. They're not just interfacing with technology anymore, Dr. Chen reported to Commander Elena Santos, who stood rigid beside her. They're reshaping it, creating new forms of quantum computing we never imagined possible. Through the window, Maria turned to face them, her eyes glowing faintly with neural energy. "We can hear you, you know. All of us can. The network, it's part of us now." 3 months had passed since Operation Starchild freed thousands of children from Xeraxian control. But liberation had brought new challenges. The neural integration that had made them perfect processors had also transformed them into something unprecedented: human minds with direct quantum computing capabilities. "Show them," Maria said, and the other children in the room nodded in unison. The air shimmered as they demonstrated their collective power. Holograms formed without projectors. Data streamed through space without visible technology. They had become living quantum computers, linked together in ways that defied traditional physics. The Xeraxians thought they were building better processors. One boy explained, his voice echoing strangely as if speaking through multiple dimensions. But they didn't understand what happens when you network human minds together. "We don't just process. We create. We evolve." Elena stepped closer to the glass, watching her sister manipulate reality itself through quantum interactions. Are you still human?" "We're what humanity could become," Maria answered. The next step. The Xeraxians wanted weapons. Instead, they created pioneers. Across Earth and its colonies, similar scenes played out as the rescued children demonstrated abilities that blurred the line between biology and technology. They could access any computer system, manipulate quantum fields, even communicate across vast distances through their shared neural network. But with these powers came complications. Traditional education was meaningless to minds that could instantly access and process vast amounts of data. Normal social interaction was challenging for children who could read quantum states and share thoughts at the speed of light. "We need to find a place for them," Elena said, watching as her sister created complex mathematical models in midair. "They can't just be research subjects or military assets." Dr. Chen nodded, making notes on her quantum tablet. "They're organizing themselves, creating their own society within the network they share. But they still need us, not just as scientists or protectors, but as family, as anchors to their humanity." Reports from the collapsed Xeraxian Empire added urgency to their challenges. Other species, learning of what had happened to the children, reacted with a mixture of horror and fear. Some called for the children to be contained, seeing them as potential threats. Others sought to study them, hoping to replicate the process that had created such powerful beings. But humanity stood firm. These were their children, regardless of how they had changed. Earth's military maintained a protective cordon around liberated Xeraxian space, preventing anyone from threatening the recovering children. In the observation room, Maria created a complex quantum simulation, a new form of faster-than-light travel that even the Xeraxians hadn't imagined. "We can help humanity advance," she said, "not as tools or weapons, but as guides." The Xeraxians showed us possibilities they themselves didn't understand. Now we can show humanity how to reach the stars safely. Elena pressed her hand against the glass. "But at what cost? You lost your childhood. All of you." The children in the room shared a look, their neural network humming with shared thoughts. "We lost one kind of childhood," Maria admitted, "but we gained something else. Understanding. Purpose. Connection. We can ensure no other children ever suffer what we did." As if to demonstrate, the children linked minds, creating a vast quantum network that extended throughout the facility. Through it, they showed glimpses of their shared consciousness. Not a hive mind, but a collective of individual souls working in perfect harmony. The Xeraxians thought they could exploit human adaptability, Dr. Chen said, watching the display in awe. They never considered that the children would adapt so completely that they would transcend the very technology meant to enslave them. Earth's governments struggled to create new policies to protect and integrate these changed children. Traditional laws about technology regulation didn't apply to beings who were themselves living quantum computers. Educational systems had to be completely reimagined for minds that could process information at quantum speeds. But through it all, one thing remained clear. These children, despite their transformation, were still human. They felt love, fear, hope, and anger. They missed their families, even if they could now communicate through quantum entanglement. They needed guidance, even if they could calculate the mathematics of the universe in their heads. "We're ready to help rebuild," Maria announced, speaking for all the changed children. The Xeraxians left a power vacuum in this sector of space. Someone needs to ensure no empire ever preys on the innocent again. Who better than those who survived their cruelty? Elena watched as her sister, still physically 11 but with the knowledge of universes in her mind, began outlining plans for a new kind of galactic society, one built on protection rather than exploitation, on understanding rather than fear. The children's revolution had begun not with violence, but with transformation, and the galaxy would never be the same. 1 year after Operation Starchild, Earth's orbital space bloomed with structures that defied traditional physics. The quantum integration spires, created by the transformed children, served as beacons of hope and warning to the galaxy, monuments to humanity's resilience and the price of exploiting the innocent. Commander Elena Santos, now Admiral of Earth's Guardian Fleet, stood aboard the new flagship, Phoenix Rising, watching as her sister Maria led the latest session of the Galactic Protection Council. At 13, Maria appeared barely older than when she was taken, but her presence commanded respect from representatives of 100 worlds. "The neural protection protocols are non-negotiable," Maria announced, her voice carrying the weight of thousands of similarly transformed children. "No species will ever again be allowed to use sentient minds as technology. The price for violation is complete technological quarantine." The alien delegates, many former subjects of the Xeraxian Empire, nodded in agreement. They had seen the consequences of crossing humanity. The transformed children didn't just understand advanced technology. They could shut it down with a thought, reducing any aggressor to pre-industrial capability in seconds. "Report from the healing centers." Dr. Chen's voice came through Elena's quantum link. "The centers, established across Earth's territories, help the rescued children navigate their new existence. The younger ones are adapting faster than we expected. They're teaching us things about quantum mechanics that even the Xeraxians never imagined." Elena watched as her sister manipulated the vast holographic display, showing the new defense network that protected Earth's expanded territory. The children had turned their prison into power, their trauma into strength, but they hadn't lost their humanity in the process. If anything, their shared experience had made them more compassionate, more determined to protect others. "The Xeraxian leadership trials begin next week," Maria informed the council. "We'll be providing evidence through direct quantum testimony. They'll face justice not just for what they did to us, but for similar programs we discovered targeting other young species." The fall of the Xeraxian Empire had revealed darker secrets. Dozens of nascent civilizations targeted for exploitation. But now these emerging species had protectors. The transformed children, linked through their quantum network, could detect and prevent technological exploitation across vast distances. "We're not weapons," Maria had told her sister shortly after their reunion. "We're guardians." The Xeraxians thought they were creating tools for their empire. Instead, they created its replacements. The new galactic order taking shape bore little resemblance to the hierarchical empire it replaced. The transformed children advocated for a network of independent worlds, bound together by mutual protection agreements and overseen by beings who had experienced the worst of exploitation and emerged stronger. In Earth's quantum research facilities, scientists worked alongside the children to understand their capabilities. The neural integration that was meant to enslave them had instead accelerated human development by centuries. But more importantly, it had taught humanity crucial lessons about power and responsibility. "Admiral," a young voice called through the quantum link, "we're detecting unusual energy signatures from the Carina sector. Possible attempt at banned neural technology." Elena nodded. "Deploy Guardian Squadron 3. Standard containment protocols." The response was immediate. A fleet of Earth's most advanced ships, guided by the quantum-enhanced minds of volunteer crews, moved to investigate. They carried no weapons of mass destruction. They didn't need to. The ability to simply shut down any advanced technology made conflict almost obsolete. Maria concluded the council session and joined her sister on the observation deck. Physical distance meant little to her now. Her consciousness could span galaxies, but she still valued these moments of human connection. "Do you ever wonder," Elena asked, "what would have happened if they hadn't taken you? If none of this had happened?" Maria's eyes shimmed with quantum energy as she considered the question. They thought they were superior because they had advanced technology, but they never understood what makes humanity special. It's not our ability to create technology. It's our ability to transform, to take what would break other species and turn it into strength. The sisters watched as a new group of rescued children arrived at the quantum integration spires. Not victims of the Zeraxians this time, but children from other worlds who had suffered similar exploitation. The transformed humans had become teachers, helping others heal and adapt as they had. "We're building something new," Maria said, her voice carrying echoes of the quantum network that linked her to thousands of others like her. Not an empire, not a hierarchy, a community of protectors. The galaxy thought humanity was weak because we were young. Now they understand. Our youth was our strength. We could adapt in ways their rigid societies couldn't imagine. As the sun set on another day in humanity's new era, ships of the Guardian fleet patrolled the stars, carrying their message of protection and warning. The transformed children, once victims, had become the architects of a new galactic society. And humanity, tested by fire, had emerged as something unprecedented. Not conquerors, not victims, but guardians of a future where no child would ever again be sacrificed to another species' greed. The stars themselves seemed brighter now, illuminating a galaxy forever changed by the courage of children who refused to break, and the determination of a species that would tear apart the heavens themselves to protect its own.